the world, churches tell stories, not just of stone and stained glass, but of the people who gather within their walls. St. Joseph the Worker Church is one such place, a sanctuary of faith and community. It stands as a tribute of quiet strength of its patron saint, St. Joseph, known as the Carpenter of Nazareth, the protector of Mary, and the foster father of Jesus. Joseph lived a life of quiet obedience, humility, and labor. He never sought recognition. He never spoke a word recorded in Scripture, yet his legacy echoes through time. In the example he gave, and in the church that bears his name. This church, dedicated to St. Joseph the Worker, reminds us that holiness is found not only in great miracles or grand gestures, but also in the daily work of our hands, in caring for family, and in the dignity of honest labor. Every brick, every beam, every detail of its design speaks to this message. The architecture reflects simplicity and purpose. The altar stands as a gathering point of hearts united in prayer. The crucifix above reminds us the love that saves and the sacrifice that redeems. Sunlight dances through the vibrant stained glass windows, each telling a story of faith. Statues of the saints line the walls, silent with witnesses to the prayers whispered by those seeking comfort, healing, or guidance. But beyond the beauty of its sanctuary, St. Joseph the Worker Church is a living body, a vibrant community shaped by service, compassion, and faith in action. Nestled in the heart of the community, St. Joseph the Worker Church stands as a symbol of faith, service, and steadfast devotion. Named after St. Joseph, the humble carpenter, protector of the Holy Family, and patron saint of workers, this church is more than just a building. It's a spiritual home where generations have gathered to worship, celebrate, and find peace. From its very foundation, St. Joseph the Worker Church has reflected the dignity of labor and the sanctity of everyday life. Its architecture, both welcoming and reverent, speaks the values of simplicity and strength, echoing the life of the saint whom it is named. Inside the church offers a sacred space filled with quiet beauty. Stained glass windows cast colorful light across the pews, while the statues and artwork invite reflection on the lives of Jesus, Mary, and the saints. But beyond the walls, the church is alive with mission. Through outreach, education, and compassion, the community of St. Joseph the Worker answers to the call to serve, support the poor, the sick, and the marginalized, just as Christ taught. Each Mass, each prayer, each act of kindness offered here continues a tradition of faith that stretches across time, rooted in the gospel and lived out in action. Whether you come to pray or serve or simply find rest, St. Joseph the Worker Church welcomes you with open arms. Here, faith is more than words, it's a way of life. Here, the Eucharist is not just received, it is lived. The ministries that feed the hungry, and programs that educate the young, and outreach that shelters the homeless, visit the sick, and uplifts the weary. The church becomes more than just a place of worship. It becomes a place of transformation. Children grow in love of Christ through faith formation. Couples unite in sacred vows at this altar. Families gather in joy and sorrow. And through every season, the church walks beside them, offering hope, stability, and grace. The spirit of St. Joseph lives on in every volunteer who quietly lends a hand, in every worker who finds purpose in their craft, in every family who chooses faith amid life's challenge. In this legacy of St. Joseph the Worker Church, a place where prayers meet purpose, where tradition meets today, where heaven touches earth in the ordinary moments of life. Whether you are a lifelong member or a first-time visitor, you are welcome here. Here, your story joins a much larger one, rooted in love, carried in faith, and inspired by the saint who reminds us that everyday act of work done in love is holy.
How many priests have been at the church since you were here?
We've been one priest that I can remember who's been at the church.
Why are you Catholic?
I'm Catholic because that's my heritage, and all the way back to Germany.
Why did you send your children here?
I sent my children to St. Joseph's Workers because that is where I went to school as well as my husband.
What has changed about the church since you've been here?
There's been a lot of changes since I was 5 years old. So we had the Second Vatican Council that came about in 1965, came into play, and then I signed up and I was old enough to do that. Before that, things that were different were the Baltimore Catechism was used in the religion classes, and what changed with that was the way that we received communion. We only had the communion meal, and everyone received on the tongue. And then after the Second Vatican Council, we were allowed to receive in the hand, which really changed things.
Thank you for the interview.
What major culture or societal shifts have impacted the way the church interacts with education today?
I think one of the biggest shifts is the number of students that are playing sports, not necessarily in the school, but travel sports, so kids aren't always attending church on weekends and stuff like they used to. So, and sometimes they attend, but they don't attend as a family. So one father or mother might go on Saturday, and then the opposite will go on Sunday. So they don't always attend as a family.
What lessons from church history do you try to pass on to students today?
The biggest thing is to try to attend church on weekends. That's an important part of your life and to take with you. And when you graduate from 6th grade here, hopefully we can get those students to continue to go to weekend mass.
What do you think today's youth should know about the church's historical role in the community?
That this church has been here as well as the school for a lot of years. I had a great-grandfather that actually was part of building the church. My dad's grandpa or my great-grandpa was known to have been up on top of the cross, balancing on top of the cross when it was completed years and years ago. So it's kind of cool.
Get more people here coming to church and get more people coming to the school. That's part of my desire. That would be wonderful. But ultimately, my desire for the future of the church is that we each just grow in our knowledge and our love of God and our service of God and our service of one another. So I'd love for whoever coming here that we can just grow in our identity as disciples of Jesus and the Lord wants to bless us abundantly. So I'm very, very hopeful for the future.
Do you know what relics are here?
Yes, we have 3 relics in our altar. We have a relic of Saint Castus, who was a 3rd century African martyr. We have a relic of Saint Agapetus, a 3rd century martyr, young man of noble birth. And also we have a relic of Saint Candida, who's a 4th century martyr. She was a wife of a Roman jailer. So we have those 3 relics of martyrs. So 2 from the 3rd century and 1 from the 4th century.
I know you've only been here for a while, but what are your feelings about the church?
I really, really love the church. It's, of course, a really beautiful church. So I really love offering Mass here. Even more than offering Mass, every morning I'm in here early and just praying myself, my individual prayer, and I really love praying in the church. So it's a really great joy just to be offering Mass here. I love it. And then I really love the people that are here that I'm able to be with weekend and throughout the week, and love everyone in the school as well. So there's lots to be grateful for. I've really been blessed by God in my time here.
Why do you think this church is so special?
Well, I think it's special for one, it's been built by the people here, and so I think the church is a place where God dwells, and a place where we go to encounter Him. You know, this is where we offer the Holy Mass. This is where Jesus is present in the tabernacle. So it's a place for us to encounter God in our life, and He wants to encounter us. So people know that. People have a hunger for God. They know that when they come through these doors, God is waiting for them. So it's a pretty special place.
Do you have any thoughts on the church that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, so one thought I have is, of course, we have these beautiful stained glass windows of the Immaculate Heart of Mary and the Sacred Heart of Jesus, which are really just beautiful. But especially when the sun is coming through them, it's really a special thing. But when I think about that, I think of that as a great image for like our mission as disciples, of Jesus. I'm sure that each of us are meant to be like that window. Each of us are meant to let the light of Jesus shine through us, right, into the world, and to bless the world. And we all do that differently, just like a different window will do it differently, but the same light is shining through. And so that's something that I think about, and I think it's a great image for us to think about. For all of us who are coming here, it's like God is giving us a reminder of what the purpose of our life is to shine that light through us. So that's something that I think about when I think about the church.
And the whole church thanks you for all that you've done in the little time you've been here. And we thank you for doing this interview today, and thank you for coming out.
Yep, you're welcome. Thanks for interviewing me.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, take care.
I think that was pretty good.